FVO, Funmi-Victor Okigbo. She specializes in empowering brands to achieve their business objectives by crafting exceptional experience designs tailored to their target audiences. Her event architecture methodology approach has refined the manner in which brands engage their audiences through immersive experiential events, and her agency, Event Architect, has evolved into a vital partner for corporations seeking effective event design and execution. Her journey at Event Architects Limited, where she serves as production designer and chief visionary officer, has led to remarkable collaborations with corporate clients spanning diverse industries, including information technology, lifestyle and entertainment, media, art, banking, and consumer goods, and many more in your mind. She has done it. Together with her dedicated team, they've consistently delivered awe-inspiring events through experience design that leaves a lasting impression. She created the unofficial Christmas party in 2015, grounded in the shared services principle. This initiative provides corporations the opportunity to outsource the planning and design of the year-end activities for both their teams and clients, saving valuable time, resources, and effort. This endeavor, known as the UX Party, whoop whoop, has achieved widespread acclaim, often celebrated as the best party night of the year. In 2020, she also created the Big Birthday, a series of monthly events designed to assist both corporate clients and individuals to hosting or gifting memorable birthday parties, free from the stress typically associated with birthday party. Recognizing the importance of nurturing talent in the event industry, she founded Event Architect Academy. This platform and community is dedicated to training and connecting aspiring event professionals, equipping them with the knowledge and skills necessary to collaborate with global brands.
So people have different reasons for throwing a party, and you have to understand it. So if somebody wants to show off, you have to find those things that will help them show off. It's all about the client, it's not about you.
Hello, Africa, and you're welcome to another episode of CEO Unscripted on Mr. Jegs Africa. With me today is an amazing personality. I've been looking for her for the past 10 years. Come on my podcast. No, come on this show. But no. Anyway, just teasing. She's amazing, and I'm glad to have her here. Please welcome with me, once again, the woman, the myth, the legend, the maestro, the mogul, Funmi-Victor Okigbo,
Thank you.
aka FVO.
Yay!
FVO, I'm glad to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here.
You're gonna answer a lot of questions. Right, I have questions for you.
Is this a setup?
Well, call the policeman in. It's a setup.
Don't worry,
It's a deposition.
My angels are here.
Your angels are
Yes,
here.
they'll take care of everything.
Amazing.
Who be police?
Let me first ask what is on everybody's mind. You're always slaying. Every time we see you, you're always slaying. Like somebody vexed you one time, maybe 20 years ago, and you're like, man, never again will I be caught on fresh. That's how star do. So I know, like, it seems effortless. How, why, who's your stylist? Tell us, give us something.
I don't have a stylist.
Really?
I don't. I think for me, what drives what I wear is, first of all, comfort. I'm always in my sneakers, right?
Yeah,
no matter what.
That's true.
Comfort first. I have to be comfortable. And that's it really. I just throw things on. And when I say this, people are like, yeah. But I do. I just throw things on. I think it also has to do with clever shopping. So I have a lot of pieces that I can mix and match, I guess, so it's easy for me to combine, and honestly, there's no secret anywhere.
Okay, if you say
Yes.
so, or you don't want to tell us, just let us
I am
know.
serious.
Okay.
I'm serious.
So this one now is just clever pieces.
Yeah, I just combine.
And she said, comfortable. Some people say if you want to be fashionable, you have to, not be so comfortable or something. Maybe
Ah,
fashion is not, I don't
they
know.
are on their own, no. You need comfort.
But you have a blend of fashion and comfort.
Yes.
And it shows that you're comfortable if you're always wearing Nike shoes
Yep.
everywhere.
Yep.
You
Oh my
didn't
God.
get
I
that.
just got it.
You just got it.
I'm slow today.
No, no, no,
I
no.
have to pick up, catch up.
No problem. So,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm good.
Really?
Yeah, I am good.
You're always on 100. Anytime I see you at events, you're like, your energy is high,
Wow.
right?
God.
You're always going, going, going. Me, I'm asking my own personal question now before,
Yes.
But how do you keep that energy? How do you keep going? I've seen you at many events. I've seen you plan. Okay, not at many events, at some events.
Yes.
I've been around when you're planning, maybe on the phone with you or something.
Mm,
You're going, 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 going.
yes.
How? I don't want to say why. You don't want to be broke. But how do you keep going?
I think it starts from doing what you love
Mm,
and what you have been called to do, I guess. You
mm,
know, I over time I see that I believe and I know that God gave me some special talents and has prepared me for things that I did not even know I was going to need in future.
mm,
And so I guess when God empowers you, He gives you the strength to do it. Of course, I have days when I'm tired. I don't want to get out of bed. I'm like, I'm tired. But it helps to do, what you love. So I guess I love what I do. And I always focus on the goal. And that helps me.
What's the goal for you?
The goal for my clients or the goal for me, because there are two.
Okay.
When you talk about my projects that I work
Yeah.
on, okay, I have to align myself with the goals of my clients.
Client, okay.
Yeah. So that becomes the goal.
Mm,
So once I understand it, I've said this before, I'm a problem solver. I enter problem solving mode.
mm.
So I just like things work.
That means you
That's
should
basically
join Nigerian politics.
I like making things work, and like I always say, I like making things better than I found them.
Mm.
So I in that mode. So yeah,
What about those clients who don't have it? They don't even know. They just want to have a great event,
yes,
right?
yes,
And it can't define a great event to
yes,
you.
yes.
How do you know what the goal is? How do you extrapolate? What are things you look at to bring out the goal?
Yeah. So one of the things I do is I don't just go into event planning. I
Mm.
don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where the event architecture comes in. Okay. I sit them down, I ask questions.
Mm.
What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? If you are launching a product, for example, there's a goal. Nobody wakes up in the morning and throws 100 million naira at an event because they just want to see people dance. So you have to understand it. If you want them to call you back, they have to achieve their goals. And sometimes while planning, if you see that, sometimes they get confused themselves. And I'm like, no, remember, this is not what you told me at the meeting when we met. You said this was your goal. So I remind them.
What if the goal changes or they see and they want to update it or tweak it?
That's fine, as long as because again, like I said, if you're spending a lot of money on an event, there's a reason why. There's a big picture. So yes, things change, but it can't be too far from the goal.
What's the most frustrated you've been by a client?
Ooh. So this is the thing, right? I do mostly corporate events.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I do a few social events, but I'm very selective.
Okay.
And when I say social events, I talk about birthday parties and weddings.
Okay.
I can plan weddings, I can plan birthdays, but I like structure.
I see.
So if I'm not able to bring structure, or you are a client that you don't understand structure, then you're wasting your time on me, or I'm wasting my time with you. So I find that I do birthday parties of maybe CEOs that I've worked before, and those guys they do their birthdays like a corporate event. It's a production.
Yeah.
I find that the weddings I've planned that I've been happy with are weddings that the bride and the groom are the ones paying for it, because when the person who pays the piper dictates the tune.
Yeah.
So sometimes, at the beginning, you're talking to the bride and groom, they're young. But mom and dad are the ones paying.
Hey.
So they are telling you this is what I want. On the day of the event, you see some aunties and uncles, and they're like, "Who are you again?" You know. So that's what I just. Those are the kinds of events I like. So back to your question of what is the most frustrating? It's just people, and I don't have a problem with people who don't have structure, because that's why you came to me, right? Yeah, but people who just don't appreciate it,
I see.
you know, and people who just keep changing things without reason, you know, or where you have too many people you are reporting to,
or people who don't appreciate it.
Yeah, or people who don't appreciate it. You know when they say don't cast your pearls before swines. People who don't. So if you give somebody a bag that is 10 million naira, for example, and the person does not like, the person may just not appreciate it. So when I meet my clients, we're usually doing it. So they're interviewing me. I'm also interviewing them, whether they know it or not, to know whether we're a good fit. But yeah, if we're not a good fit, then we won't work together.
So you had to turn down events and money.
Of course.
It looks like there are a lot.
Nah, not so much, but yeah.
Give me reasons why you would turn down an event. You've told me if they're not structured.
Yes.
What are the other reasons?
No, not if they are not structured, I don't mind too much, right? So so if you know you have a problem, and you come and you appreciate, oh yeah, I have a problem, you are solving it for me, great. But sometimes people just don't even know the difference, you know. Yeah, so I don't have a problem if you don't have structure. So for example, there are some questions I would usually ask you. We have a questionnaire, and I'm able to shape and understand what it is you are trying. In fact, some clients have told me in the past that, Evio, your questionnaire actually helps me think about my events the way I've not thought about it before. So some of them say, you know what, for me, give me a month. I need to go think about this again. Yeah, because all of a sudden, it's clear to them that what am I even doing, or what was I even planning to do? You know. So
have your questionnaires made you lose a client? Maybe they thought about it and said, I don't think I need to even do an event.
Maybe, probably, I may not know. Yes, but it's possible. Yeah. Look, there was one woman, and you see, I've met all sorts of clients.
I'm sure.
There was, again, when I'm talking to my students and I'm training them, I'm like, you have to become like a psychologist. You have to be able to read the human mind. Because I asked them, I said, when a woman is turning 50 or a guy is turning 50, why are they throwing a party? Why are they spending 100 million on a party? They're like, oh, they want to, bring their friends together. I'm like, and the real reason, some of them, when talking to them, they just want to show off.
Really?
Yes.
Not to mark the...
They want to, and you have to be able to feel that vibe from talking to them.
Yeah.
And you go to their home or you are meeting with them, you can tell the vain ones, you can tell the ones. So there was a woman one time who was planning her party, and she gave us a guest list of people to call for her. This was some years ago, and my team would call this. She had all this guest list of big men in Lagos and women, and then would call some of these people. And they'll be like, who? I don't know this person. True story. A few of them. Wow. Like, I don't know this person. So it became clear to me that this person just wanted to have some people in the room. And some of them were like, oh, don't worry. Okay, I'll come. No problem. And some just didn't show up. So people have different reasons for throwing a party. And you have to understand it. So if somebody wants to show off, you have to find those things that will help them show off. It's all about the client. It's not about you at the end of the day. So people have different reasons for doing events.
Wow. Yes. Amazing. Yes. We will still come back to that.
Yes.
So did you always know that you do events? You just came up one time, you were walking and like,
from my mother's
from your
womb.
Mother's womb.
Yes, I knew like, when I came out.
Your name shall be Evio, event architect.
Hey.
So did you always know?
So this is the thing about what I do, right? And people who are very close to me struggle to even call me an event planner, which is what I am really, right? But I do more than that. I said about the fact that I'm a problem solver and I bring structure to everything. So take me from the event space and put me anywhere, I'll thrive.
I see.
And I'll bring value. So, and that has always been me from the beginning. I remember, my mom had a school in Ibadan before she passed on, and I would go to her and try and put structure by force. And she'd be like, leave me alone. I'm like, this guy has been with you for 10 years, but what value is he bringing? And she'd be like, leave me, leave me, leave me, and we'll quarrel and everything. I remember, and now that I think about it, I remember there was a time I used to drive to Ibadan like 2-3 times a week.
2-3 times a week.
Crazy. Because I just wanted to help her in her school. So I would go in the morning, drive myself. I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, what was I thinking?
That's crazy.
So that's me. When I zero in on something, I will give everything. So I've always been a problem solver. I've always been someone who likes structure. And I've always been someone who likes to fix things.
So the school, you said she passed on.
Yes.
Right? Is the school still?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately not. I tried my best to run it, but it's not easy from Lagos. But so we sold it. I mean, she had the land and everything, but I'm happy I sold it to somebody else who was running a school. So I was like, Mom, I tried. They're still using it as a school. It's not a hotel. It's not anything else. Yes.
When did she pass?
2004.
2004.
Yes.
20 years ago.
Yes.
Right now. I mean, well, may her soul rest in peace. I won't say I'm sure you moved. My dad has passed, so I can't say you moved on. Yeah. But you're better now, I guess.
Yeah, I tell people that you never really move on. The memories are still there. You cry for different reasons. So when my mom died, I had to go back to people who had lost their parents or moms years before to apologize again, and they were like, "Why?" I'm like, apologize for, I greeted them when their mom died. But you know how you're like, oh, sorry. But when you lose someone, you understand the depths of it. So I went back, I said, look, now I understand. Now I get it, And when I go to people's homes and maybe they lost someone and they're like, don't cry. I'm like, let them cry. What do you mean they shouldn't cry? Crying is therapeutic. It's part of the healing process. You cannot stop people from crying. This is a human being who was part of your life for years, So, yeah.
You're celebrating something. Maybe you have a big win in business or in school or in life.
Yes.
And you want to call, but you're like, okay.
Yes.
He's not here.
Yep.
That's I know how it feels.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was going to ask, when did you start Event Architects?
I think 2005. I started it as No Surprises.
No Surprises?
Yes, that was the name. So No Surprises, Events Architecture should be the tagline.
I see.
Yeah. And then in 2021, I changed the name.
Wow. So 2005, it ran for 16 years.
Yes.
As No Surprises.
Yes.
So it just became Event Architect.
Yes.
Like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you change it?
Change.
And what has the change brought?
Just change. So what happened was that I've been wanting to do this school, Events Architects Academy, for a long time. And, it wasn't, I had no name for it and everything. So I called it Events Architects Academy. I was like, you know what? They might let me change everything so it's, uniform and aligned, and change is good. I changed the color, changed everything. And I don't think people cared too much because Events Architects was always part of No Surprises.
Yeah.
People always called me Event Architect and all that. So it was just, yeah.
Do you get bored easily doing the same thing? Do you like to just touch things up? You look at your parlor and say, I need to change things.
I don't like boring stuff. Yeah, I like to keep things fresh. But I also can keep doing something for a long time if I believe in it. Does that make sense?
You don't like boring stuff. You keep things fresh, but you can keep doing something for a long time if you believe in it.
Yes.
Can you rephrase it?
So what I mean
or explain it.
So what I mean is, like, I like keeping things fresh because, for example, in business, you have to keep, reinventing yourself. But sometimes maybe you start a business or a product or create something, right? and it's not working, I'm not going to change it because, oh, I'm bored. No. So it's two different things. Yeah. I will keep at it if I believe in it. So I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yes.
If you believe in it, you keep. But you still.
But even within that,
you're
yes,
still
exactly.
keeping it fresh.
Yes, exactly.
So you registered the business in 2005.
5 years.
What were you doing before then?
Interesting question. So I told you I was doing something with my mom, right? Her school. I was helping her run the school.
You're staying in Lagos and running the school in.
No, so I was in Ibadan.
Okay.
Before I came to Lagos. So I was helping her run the school, then I came to Lagos. And then I tried all sorts of businesses. There was a time I was doing like I guess those were my restless times. I did all sorts of businesses. There was a time I was getting adire and making house coats and sending abroad and all that. But in terms of really like worked for anyone, I've never done that.
I see.
Yeah, I've never done that. In fact, I started my business after my mom died. My mom died 2004.
Yeah,
I started
2005.
And at that time, what happened was I didn't know what to do with myself. But when she died, there was this local caterer that came to the house and cooked at a funeral. Her food was so good, but she did not have the right packaging,
branding, yeah.
So I thought, this woman, you know what? Maybe I should, get her to do the food, and then I would get the nice dishes and serve people.
Like a partnership, or
like a partnership,
or you just employed her services.
No, not even employ her services. Get the business, and then she'll do the cooking, and then I'll get the dishes and the presentation and the cutlery and everything. And then that's what I thought then. But when you think about it to what I'm doing now, it's always been that making things better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I did that. Somebody was doing some event, what were they doing? They were doing a training.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, for me, I want food. And I did it, with one or two people, different caterers. And then somebody said, oh, why don't you do event planning? I'm like, oh, really? What's that?
Yeah.
But what I noticed, what really drove me to this was I would go to different events.
Yeah.
And I would keep thinking to myself, I wouldn't do that. I would do this. I wouldn't do that. I would do this, And like someone said a long time ago, if you hear a choir sing and you feel, I would have hit the notes differently, you are probably called to sing. So that was what happened. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this myself. I went to a few birthday parties and I went to a few events and I felt they were the same.
Yeah.
And I said, no, if I'm going to someone's birthday party, I should be able to know that this is SJ's party. This is Evio's party. What can we introduce to it? So I started reading books on events.
Interesting.
Textbooks, and started doing research. And I loved it. I loved the creativity of it. I loved the fact that, I could design something and bring it to life.
This was before you registered?
This was before I registered.
No surprises?
Yes, this was before I registered. And then I now registered no surprises. Yeah, It was a short time. And then I registered no surprises. And I remember even going to look for work. And I'll tell people, I'm an event person. And they'll be like, what have you done before? And I'll be like, nothing. They'll be like, oh, sorry, we can't give you work.
Ah, I see.
And I was like, how am I going to do anything if you guys don't give me work?
It feels like those people who say they need 5 years experience from an NYC graduate.
Exactly.
NYC person.
Yep. So I started doing free events for people. I'm like, do you have an event? Yeah, okay, let me do it. Let me help. And I started doing that. And then I've been so blessed, honestly. Shortly after that, a friend of mine who knew me, and I think sometimes, people bet on you based on who you are.
Yeah.
So people who know you know that this person has integrity. She says she can do something. I will trust her with it. I may not have seen her do events.
Yeah.
But I know her character. And that's where character comes into play.
Oh my. In fact, I wanted you to finish because you said you did it free of charge for a while.
Yes.
So that you could get the experience.
Yes.
So that's also character.
Exactly. There's this friend of mine, he just got a new job, I think corporate comms manager. And he also wanted to make an impression.
Yeah.
So now that I think about it, it was really big for him to even have trusted me, you know. And Stanbic and IBTC were doing a merger, was a big deal. So he came to me and said, "Look, for me, let's do this and all that." There were some big names that were being called at the time to do it. And I said, "Don't worry, we'll do this." I think I had like maybe 2 members on my team, or none. I don't even know if I don't even remember. So I went to work with my documentation and my spreadsheets, and I gave it everything because I knew that it wasn't just about me, it was about my friend.
Yeah,
You know, I needed
the stakes were higher.
Yeah, the stakes were quite high. So I put everything in it, everything, you know, my spreadsheets, I checked everything twice, you know. And of course, I think IBTC was it Stanbic? I don't even know. They had partners from South Africa.
Yeah.
So they brought some of their production guys just to come and make sure everything was fine. And those ones came to the hall a day before just to check. And I had my long checklist. And they were like, "Is this done?" I'm like, "Yep, yep, yep, yep." And they were like, "You know what? Let's go have drinks." I was so happy. Yeah. So there was really nothing for them to do.
What year was this?
2000 and God, maybe 2007 or so. I don't remember. You know, and I did that. And it was successful.
That must have been a lot of mental work.
Yes, a lot. And very quickly, I did some really high profile events, really, really high profile events.
Yeah.
I was quite selective about the events I wanted to do. So I would do those events for free if I had to. Okay. And not take on the jobs I did not want to at the time. I didn't even know what gave me that confidence. And so very quickly, people aligned me with certain kinds of events. And yeah, like they say, the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yes.
So did that job open more doors with Stanbic or with other places?
Of course. I mean, people came, they saw me for me, and they started knowing my name. And I started doing some other, you know, social events and everything. And people started knowing my name. And yeah, it was quite nice, you know. I paid attention to documenting my work also. I paid a lot of money for that because sometimes you'd get clients who'd be like, "This photographer is so expensive," and I'm like, "You know what? I will pay because my work was what I could show to get the next job." So very, very quickly, people were able to. Yes.
So will you say business is tougher now than when you started because of macroeconomics, or it doesn't affect your industry?
Of course it does. I mean, especially COVID was a big hit. That one.
I can't imagine.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And then everybody was doing what was it? The virtual events, and I had no interest. I had no interest in virtual events.
Why?
A lot of people were pivoting, and I just had, because for me, right, I was like, how do you take some events? In fact, at that time, I asked a few friends. I said, "Why do you attend events?" They said, "Oh, because I want to hang out with my friends. I want to see my friends. I want to drink with my friends." And when people were talking about this is the new norm, and events were going to go away finally, and events were never going to come back, I said, I told them it's not going to happen. I said, it's not going to happen. I said, because people will always want to be with people.
Yes.
So I just didn't see, because I'm big on events, design, and experiences.
Yeah.
So how do you take that to watching TV and celebrating someone's birthday? You can try, but yeah. So now, to go back to your question about is business tougher? I think that there was a time when people would give anybody work because, this person is my friend, my sister, yeah. But now you want to be sure of who you are giving the job to.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who is diligent and you do good work, it's a good time to be doing business.
I see.
So if I have 100 million or 200 million to spend, it is a big deal now. I can't just afford to hand my work to anybody else to do. So yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So business is better now because you've been very excellent in times past.
Yes, and I have the privilege of choosing the kind of work I want to do.
In other news, when you are large, you are large. When you are big, you are big,
Let
right?
me say I attract certain kinds of clients because of
Hey,
my work. I'm drawn to them. I'm drawn to them. They're drawn to me. So yes.
when you are proud, you're proud.
Ah,
So, has there ever been a time where a staff almost made you lose a client? Because many people have interviewed on camera, off camera, say human beings are amazing. So I don't even want to start. I'm sure you probably say the first major challenge in business is human beings,
yes,
right?
yes.
So have there been times where a staff, almost made you lose a client or something, and how did you handle it?
Whoa. I mean, when I almost lose a client, I think
Or,
maybe
or
if
almost messed up an event or
yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah. I mean that happens, right? But I think most clients don't mind if you're able to correct, yeah, and just own up to it. Don't lie about it. Don't say
Don't
just
dilly dally.
yeah. Just say you know what I acknowledge. I remember some woman's it was her husband's 50th birthday.
Mm.
You know, high profile party,
Mm.
and they had it was crazy timelines.
Mm.
So we had printed the invitation card. And she was like, for me, I need it now, now, now. I was like, oh my God. The person was, the service provider delayed for a very long time. But so when eventually he said it was ready, usually I would want to see the invitation before I send it to the client.
Yeah.
So that I can give feedback and fix it. But because we are under a lot of pressure, I was like, you know what? Let's just deliver it directly to the client. The
Oh
woman
my.
got it and she was like, Fumi, what is it? It's a mess. She called me. I said, Madam, I'll fix it. She said, okay. That was all I said. So, of course, I went and I fixed it. So, eventually, when she was giving me feedback after the event, she said, Fumi, what I loved was you did not make excuses. You said, I'll fix it. And you fixed it. So, that's it. So many times people just want to just take responsibility and do what you need to do.
But there's still some difficult people.
True.
How do you handle difficult people?
Uh,
Clients and staff. Okay, staff you can
you
easily
handle the
fire.
client and say to yourself, never again.
So
I'm not doing this
the,
again.
the clients that will call you and you won't
They
again.
are. They are. There are some that even while you are talking about the event,
Yeah.
you know that you won't work with them. In fact, something happened recently. Yeah. From the way they are talking. And when people start, so for example, if you ask, maybe if someone asks you how much are you going to charge for something, and you tell them, and they say, is it for this small thing you are charging this? For me, that tells me you have no idea. You don't
Like you
respect what I
said,
do.
they don't appreciate. Yo, I see.
But if you come and say, for me, you are worth this money, and which is what I tell people when I'm trying to negotiate. I'm like, I know you are worth way more than this money,
Yeah.
but it's a budget issue.
Yeah.
Please, how can you help me? That's different. You're doing it respectfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when people are already, getting, impatient with you and dismissive, or, oh, I just remembered one. So this is the thing I do. When I go for a meeting, especially for a first client, I'm working for the first time. And this has happened with, I don't care who you are. And I don't say this in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
If you call me for a meeting and you say, Fumi, the meeting is 3:00.
Ah, she's always on time. My God. She's always, let me tell you, Africa. If you call FVO for a meeting, you had better meant it. Like she came 1 hour before the shoot, 1.5 hours before today's shoot. I was like, oh my God, what do I do with myself?
So that's it. So you tell me 3:00. I try to be at any place at least 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
If I'm going for a presentation, let me come in, plug in my laptop. Because if a client says 3:00, it's not at 3:00 you'll be at, fidgeting with your laptop, right? And that's what I tell my team.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, because when they say 3:00 is 3:00, that means you start at 3:00. So if you call me for a meeting for the first time, oh, for me, I've heard about your work, da, da, da. I go to your office. If I'm there at 2 o'clock for a 3 o'clock meeting, I don't mind. I came early.
Yeah.
I'm always apologizing for coming early. So I
Yes.
came early. So I sit down and I'm waiting. No problem. Whether you come and say hi or not is fine. It's on me. But when it's 3 o'clock, nobody shows up to say, hey, or like 5 minutes to three to say, look, our guy is running late or our madam is running late. Please give us some time. We are so sorry. Da, 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 da. Give us some time. I don't mind.
Mm.
I don't even mind waiting for 1 hour.
Mm.
Yeah, because you have shown me respect.
Yes.
But you leave me in that place. Nobody comes to say, hey, Funmi, I'm so sorry. Or, apologize, we're running late. You leave me there. If I like you, I'll wait 30 minutes. If I don't, 15 minutes after, I carry my bag and I leave. This has happened. I don't want to name names. Because for me, that's a sign. You don't respect me. You don't respect my time. And it also shows that there are deeper things. So if I take on that job, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Have there been times that they had to call you, "We're sorry,"
Yeah,
or some people just said, "Leave her."
No.
And I go.
So some people, some of these so-called big clients, as soon as I'm about entering my car, maybe they can see me from the camera or maybe their staff, they're like, oh, we're so sorry. And they call me back. I'm like, oh, so you can see me. But, but at least they know that, But most people are civilized. Most people are civilized. But those people that are badly behaved, I'm like,
Have there been times you left and nobody called?
yeah, that's fine.
And it just
Yeah, it's fine.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. That's a sign that it was not meant to be. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
What's the future? What's the future for event architect? And see, there are many questions to ask, but you've answered a few. So you are starting this year. Do you have goals? Do you have targets? Right? Like, I'm going to do X amount of. How do you know? Because you had target during COVID.
Yeah.
And hey, it was double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
COVID and SARS, a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
Right? And wait, we need to go back to that. How did you deal with COVID year? What did you do to make money?
COVID year was bad.
You said this like you can remember how it was.
COVID year was bad.
How did you pull through?
Honestly, God. And God. And I know that there are people looking at me like, yeah, God. Seriously. That's story for another day. I have 2021, 2022 was a miracle year for, well, every year is a miracle year for me. I had random people call me for good business. Like how I came out of that whole thing. So random people. And I knew it was God. I just knew because there were just certain things that were happening. I was like, that story for another day. Seriously.
Today is that day.
Seriously.
Are you not comfortable talking about
I
the
am,
COVID
but
year?
you see, the thing is that I don't have like people are probably expecting, oh, this was the strategy. I don't have that story.
See, CEO Unscripted. You are telling us what happened. You are not trying to just motivate or aspire to maguire somebody.
So I'm telling you that God did it. God sees angels and the Holy Spirit to orchestrate certain events for me and put me in certain places that
really.
Seriously.
Did you do any event from March? March was 30th of March or something? End of March 2020 till December 2020. Did you do any event before then?
No. I had to give some people their money back, a few people.
Hey.
Yeah.
And you probably had planned, bought something.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that 2020 was
okay.
Yeah.
So no money.
No money.
How did you do it? Because you have as there were expectations from other people.
One of us were at home now. You remember?
Just for 1 month, 1.5 months or so.
COVID was.
Oh, okay.
Okay, maybe you were going out.
Hey, Hey, I was home. I
Yeah,
was.
COVID was, yeah, COVID
Okay,
dealt with
I
everybody.
think I was doing a business that was like an essential service.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So yeah,
Ours
so
was no
that's
contact. And even after when everybody started coming, events were still, people were still
yeah,
careful about events.
yeah. You had to wear nose mask.
Oh, I
If
hated
yes,
those things,
I
honestly.
I did too.
Oh,
How about your staff? What happened to them?
I asked everybody to go now. At the end of the day,
Ah,
you paid the ones you could pay, to be civilized. And yeah, it was like,
okay.
it was a reboot, reset of everything.
Hmm.
Ah,
So how has that impacted your business now? Like something like that can happen again or some.
yeah.
How would you plan for another sudden? Are you ready for another COVID?
God forbid.
God forbid. No, no, no. I don't want another COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it has taught all of us to be smarter in business.
Mm.
So, for example, at that time, I used to have a lot of staff. Now I run a leaner team. Yeah. But I still do big events. I do bigger events now than I did then,
Yeah.
By just being smart, making choices, working with freelancers, so that way I'm not just paying out of, you know what I mean?
I see.
So, yeah, I'm put with a little bit of structuring. So, yeah, am I ready for COVID? I'm not ready for COVID. I don't know how to answer that question.
No, no. There's not going to be. I pray there won't
Yeah,
be another lockdown anytime
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Right. But uh, if Jesus tarries, if there is something, I don't know.
I'll
As
come and
how
join you in your business now. Since you people were the ones who made a lot of money during COVID, I'll
okay.
just come and say,
I
SJ.
think we need to move forward
Yeah,
from it.
I'll just say, SJ. Do you need an
Let
operations
hey,
manager?
let's move forward from this
I can
question.
help with logistics
No,
and
we're moving
project
on.
management.
We're moving on from this question. So why I asked that was what's the future? Because there you can make plans and
Yeah.
you can hit it. Are there years you've made a plan and you superseded
Hmm.
your goals,
Hmm.
your target?
So you see this thing about making plans.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to answer it, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I the life that I live now, I live it totally immersed in Christ.
Hmm.
Total,
Interesting.
totally. Like my life is literally not my own, and I'm not just even just saying it. Like when I wake up in the morning every day, it's about God. What do you want me to do? I prayed before I came here today. I said, God, I don't really like interviews, but I believe that I am supposed to be here today, SJ.
Whoop. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you were relentless. So I'm like, God, okay, this is happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told him, God, whoever needs to hear my story, whatever it is they need to learn from, that's it. Right. Did I wake up in what's this month now, June, and said, oh, I'm going to be on this podcast? No. But the Holy Spirit has led me here. So I'm here. So when it comes to making plans, my plan is God's plan, and I don't mean that in a how do I in a irresponsible way, yeah. But it has to align with His plans. Are there things I hope for? Yes, but God, Jesus has to be inside.
So the question is so now what you're saying, what I'm listening to
Yeah.
is that you don't have plans for the year. You just submit to God.
No, so I have plans,
Okay.
right? So for example now,
Or goals or something.
yeah, I do. But I realize and I know that those things can change. And I'll be okay with it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not irresponsible. I have stuff to pay. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say, hey, guys, you know what? It's Jesus. No, So there are businesses I'd like to do. There's money I'd like to make. But what if God says, oh, yeah, leave and go to, I don't know. Do you understand?
Somalia.
Exactly. Do you understand? So while having the goals, I understand that I do not own myself. And everything I do, right, is for the kingdom. because I understand that why am I working? I'm not working because I want to. It's not I'm not doing it because I want to be vain, you know. I'm doing it so that when God needs me, I'm able to deliver. I'm able to do the things I'm able to do. And I don't know if this is complicated in any way, but this is this is how I live my life right now.
Interesting. And it works?
Huh. It works because God's plans are way better than yours. Whatever you think you know, forget it. He has showed it to me in my life too many times. And I've learned to trust him. Even when I don't even know, which is most times, I don't know how it's going to work, but I know. And journaling also works. I journal a lot. I write, so a lot of things God has done for me. I mean, sometimes random strangers tell me things. There was a time somebody sent me a message from Instagram, someone that I don't know, and it was a message I needed. And I took a screenshot and I put it in my. So I journal a lot. So sometimes when things don't work, I go back to those things. I'm like, God, who did this? You will do this one, you know.
That's insightful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
But I kind of feel like I didn't really give a proper answer.
No. It was good.
Yeah,
It was
but it's
good.
my. But that's
Somebody's
my
giving
truth.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, because that's my truth. Seriously.
Yeah,
That's
it's good
my
enough.
truth. So yes, there are goals business wise. You know, I have an academy. I have, the big birthday. Okay, I'd like to go out of Lagos. And yes, I have those plans.
Yeah.
But those plans, I have them knowing that they can change. And the person who can change it, the person who owns me, when he's ready to change it, I have to be submissive and not. So I don't want to get too hung up on anything. I guess that's the message. Like, I'm not hung up on any plans.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So if there's a young man, woman out there who says, event architect,
yes,
I would like to be like this someday.
Yes.
Or if you were to start over again with the knowledge you have, what would be the first set of things you would do? How will you set up your business? How will you start? What will you do differently? What will you do the same?
Wow. Never thought about this. 2 questions, right?
Yeah.
What would I say to somebody who's trying to
start again? A younger you.
It's like
wanting
a
to
2-in-1.
start. So just it's like a 2-in-1. It's like a 2-in-1 question. So what will you say to somebody else? And what will you say to a younger you? Like, you're just about to start, but you're advising the younger you, like, hey, this is from the wealth of knowledge I have. Let me come and advise you. What will you do differently? What will be the same?
Wow. What would I do differently? I have never thought about this. I think I went through the paths that I needed to go through. Because when you think about even the mistakes and the errors, they are all the things that shaped me and helped me to become who I am, right? I don't think there's a shortcut to anything, right?
Yeah.
So even if I have, a younger person who's trying to do this and I handed everything to them, they will still mess up, because messing up is part of growth and part of experience.
But that's why you have mentors, right? To reduce the effect of the mess up.
Reduce, but it's still there.
Yeah, but what will you do? What will you do differently to reduce the past mess ups?
The past mess ups.
You're mentoring the younger you.
Yeah.
So tell us what you tell the person.
Oh, that was a question. I've never actually thought about it. So you're going to have to give me a minute.
Please, take your time. Take your time.
What would I tell a younger me?
And even in business, life, generally, like decisions, what will you do differently? Take us through that journey. You got the time.
So for business,
I like the fact that you're really thinking deeply
I'm telling
about
you,
it. And it's
usually
good.
it's, yeah. For business. Wow. Funmi-Victor Okigbo. I'm just thinking, would it be Um, maybe to understand money better at the beginning. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I have it now. So because I'm a creative, right? So I'm driven by my creativity and my passion,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes, I mean, at the beginning, a client would give you 10 naira for an event, and you should ideally spend the 10 naira on the event, right? So you are getting paid 5 naira. Client's work is 10 naira, but at some point in your creativity, you are like, it needs a little bit of razzmatazz. And I'm like, we have 5 naira, B. Let's take 3 naira and add it to the clients. I did that a lot,
Wow.
which was stupid. But it worked, but it was stupid. It worked because most of the events had the razzmatazz that got you more work. Maybe I could have done it for you, but it was something like I always wanted my events to stand out. I mean, somebody once told me she was at an event one time and she hadn't seen me. She was at the event for like an hour or so, and then she bumped into me, maybe when she was going to the ladies, and she was like, hey, I knew it had to be your event. I was like, well, I said, when I came in here, I just saw a few things, and this had to be you.
Wow.
You know, it had to be you because I just know that you are different. So things like that, was what used to make me proud. Like, yeah, I'm creative, but was I making money? Not really. So I would tell my younger self, don't be stupid.
But wouldn't that slow down the future jobs?
By just doing what you're asked to do. Yeah.
I see what you're asking. So
Yeah.
for example, it was the razzmatazz that got you those jobs.
Exactly. So
So should you have charged for it?
maybe balance, maybe not do as many.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there was also something that I used to do then, and I guess it's coming back to me now, where I would give the client more than they did. So sometimes, so I would meet a client, and maybe, so now I'm able to discern. You meet with me and you're like, for me, this is what I want, this is what I want. And I'm like, okay, cool. I just focus on it and do it. Yes, I'll advise you and everything. But me, I always felt that every event, every client needed a 20-page presentation that needed to look a certain way. And some clients loved it and some didn't care about it. But it occurred to me that I was doing it for myself, for my own ego. It was about me, about my work, my creativity, Let it not be said that there's no need. Yes, there's a part of marketing spend and doing some things because you want to show your work, but balance.
I see.
Yeah.
So what else will you tell Evio, young Evio?
I'll tell a young Evio that I tell you, young Evio, it's what I know now.
Yeah.
You're amazing. That's what I'll tell you. Because okay, so growing up, I just did my thing, right? And of course, with the usual, sometimes you are not sure, you make mistakes, and then you doubt yourself if you are able to even you live with this self-doubt, like, and sometimes you don't have the confidence that you need to be able to do certain things. And that sometimes the how do I say it now? Not seeing yourself the way you really are and limiting yourself. Okay? So I'll tell a younger Evio, believe in yourself, be more confident. Be more confident. Because being confident opens certain doors. Right? You are in your little corner playing safe. But sometimes people need to just, you need to just believe and just go for it sometimes. Yeah. I'm learning that.
Well, did you have any self-esteem issues at some point?
Not really. Not really. it was just a kind of humility of, just respect yourself and do your thing, and just, don't overdo, even this being in front of the camera, like I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. I like behind the scenes. When I meet people and they say, um, meet Funmi-Victor Okigbo, and they're like, I don't know her. And they say, oh, mention the name of my company, and they know. I'm more excited about that. Like, oh, they know my work.
I love that too.
Yeah. But now things are changing for me because I understand that I am not for, like, right now, I don't know who's listening to this, right?
Yeah.
This is a platform.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Andrew Womack. He said something one time, and he talks about pride. And that message was on YouTube. You know how you're scrolling through, and you're like, this message is not for me. I'm not proud. But I listened anyway. And he talks about pride. And he talks about the fact how when he first started, he couldn't stand in front of 10 people to even say anything. And it was really weird for him. And he just did not want to be in front of anybody and all that. And God wanted the Holy Spirit told him that he was proud. And he was like, proud? Me, I'm humble. I don't want to be seen.
Yeah, in front of people.
Yeah. And he said, no, because you are thinking about yourself. Wow. The reason why you don't want to stand in front of people is because you don't want to make a fool of yourself. What is pride?
Being full of yourself.
I see what you did there. Hey. Pastor will be proud. So the thing is, like, so you don't want to stand in front of people to preach because you're afraid you'll make mistakes. You're afraid that you're going to. So you are thinking of owning yourself, and that is wrong. Yeah. So it made me really think about this whole thing. Like, okay, why is it that you don't want to be seen? Is it because you don't want to make a fool of yourself? You think you're not articulate enough? Whatever reason, you are thinking about yourself. It's time to think about that one person who will listen to you talk and their lives will change. It's worth it if only one person does. And again, right now, we're 2024, everybody has a platform.
Yeah.
So you are in a corner with your values and your integrity, and you're not saying anything. And there's a young 15-year-old who is looking for advice. She turns on Instagram and she's seeing all sorts of people saying all sorts of things. And you are in your little corner saying, I don't want to be seen. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
When I have the opportunity, I will come out and say what I need to say. And if one person's life changes from it, it's worth it.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So, is there any other thing you want to tell the younger you? Any other thing before we move to that young person?
SJ, you are this
I really,
self.
I'm asking because
yeah.
When I think about my life, there are too many things I want to tell my younger self.
Yeah.
I mean, so much. Value for money, value for time. Don't get addicted to screens. Don't get addicted to shiny things. Your value comes from God and not from yourself. I too many things.
Yeah.
Even when I drill down personally, like spend time with your dad before he goes. So there's so much I want to tell him. So I'm asking, is from a place of introspection, like, are there mistakes you've made? Are there things you've done that you tell? So in telling your younger self, and that point you just made, saying that you're not going to hold back again, because if somebody opens Instagram and starts consuming content from rubbish sources, now this is your time to tell your younger self and somebody who is like a younger you or who is young that, hey, these are some of the things I would have done better, or these are things you should do.
And that's one of the things that inspired the academy, actually, because for me, there are lots of event professionals who, when I started, there was nobody to go and sit down and be learning from. I had to figure things out. So for me, it's, create an academy for them to come and listen. But beyond that, there's a community that I have put together. We have a WhatsApp group because I find out that even for the people who come to the academy, there are different levels. There's some who have been in business for 5, 10 years. Some are just starting. I put everybody together. And I'm like, guys, if you need to volunteer, come there and say, I want to volunteer. You, madam, 10 years in business, bring that person on. And I bring them on board for my events too. Because sometimes for events, right, you just need that confidence of doing one and then another for you to believe in yourself. So you can have the knowledge and be like, I know events, I know the theory parts, and be there for 2 years and you don't get the opportunity. But when you go out, even if all you did was welcome someone at the door, I have given you that opportunity, that exposure, okay? You are in there, you see a celebrity or you see somebody that you've looked up to at their event, and then you go and post about it and talk about it. That does something for you. Okay. So yeah, so that's it. I'm sure when I think about this my younger, well, this is a good thing that at least I will go think about it a bit more. But I think I've said everything really.
All right. So your industry,
yes,
is it an upward projectile or is it plateauing? Is it saturated? Like, just looking at the whole industry, where we say it is on the trajectory?
I am so proud of my industry, if I tell you, because as at the time when we started, right? Yeah, there was a lot of, we're doing things for Nigerian standard, but right now we are competing on the global stage because again, the world has shrunk. Yeah. If you really love what you do, you can go on YouTube and see that event that was done in LA last week.
Yeah.
And you can get inspiration from it. Which is why sometimes I'm a bit impatient with my team members who are not ready to research. And because I'm like, our forefathers would go to a library, go and wait for one book. Somebody has taken the book for 2 weeks. And then they come back. And then they have to now read. They're looking for something. They have to read till page 122 to get that thing. You have AI, you have ChatGPT, you have Google, you have YouTube, and you still don't have a clue? What are we doing here?
This is a salient point. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, events industry, you have to bring your A game, man. From the decor to, like, for people who know what they're doing, it's good stuff. Yeah. Is it saturated? Of course, it is saturated. But you can be unique and stand out. I know I am unique.
I know you're unique.
Yeah, I know that one. I mean, not only, but I know I'm unique. And also, you have to also understand, if you are in any industry, that I tell people that I don't believe that anybody is my competition. Yes, you have competition because the money that goes to somebody that should come to you, they might not even be in the same industry. But I feel like there are people who would come to me for the service I'm able to give. There was a time I did a presentation one time to an organization for the end of year party. That was years ago, and I think the idea was like I was going to bring sand into a space and turn it into a beach, like some crazy idea like that. I was really so excited.
Sorry, was it a drink company?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, because it was a drink company that did something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a drink company. This was years ago.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they were like, thank you, and I left, and they didn't give me the job. But one person from who sat in the presentation called me and said, Funmi, your ideas are amazing, but this organization is a bit conservative, right? So they went with somebody safer. So that helped my confidence to say, look, you're not for everybody.
Yeah.
If someone says no to you, it doesn't mean you're crap. It just means that for those people looking for ideas that are out of this world, they will come to you, And sometimes when maybe I'm talking to a client and I hear they're talking to a competitor, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. If they're talking to this person, I can't be for them.
Wow.
Not in a bad way, not in a bad way.
They're in a class of your own.
No, No,
You're
not
in
in
a
a
class
bad,
of your
no,
own.
not in a bad
Own.
way. But there are people who look at me and say, "What's it with this woman with the big hair and abego? I just want, I don't know." Do you understand?
Yeah.
And there's some people who be like, you know what? She's got it. So just
Good stuff.
yeah.
Thank you, Evio, for sharing,
Thank you.
for giving your time. So we usually end the sessions.
Now I'm like, what is SJ going to ask
We
me?
usually end the sessions by you looking into the eyes of Africans through your camera. And first thing, second one will be, don't let me make you think about that. But you still answer. The first one is to give a shout out to those who have helped you in time past.
Hmm.
So you call their names.
Ha.
Thank you very much.
Hey, there are people I can call.
People you can't call their names. Okay. You can describe them and say you know yourself.
Hey.
When you helped me at so. So
SJ.
that when they see this, they just like, oh, thank you, FBO.
SJ. Let's leave that side.
No.
For now.
Why can't you call their names?
Okay. I don't know. SJ, this interview. I won't come back here.
We'll come back for part 2 because your business would have blown up.
Amen.
Aha.
Amen.
When you come back.
They will not want their names to be called.
Okay.
Is that
And you don't
what-
need to call their name.
Yeah.
Just thank you. The ones you can mention.
Wait, that have helped me do what? Sorry.
Helped you in business, helped you in
Yeah.
life, who have been there. Helped you in business, helped you in life. Those who have been there,
SJ. SJ, let's leave that matter. And I know I'm going to make him even more curious. I don't know. I just don't know how they'll feel. That's the truth.
And they helped you and they said, please never
I say
mention.
I say my thank you, but yeah, I don't know if I want to mention their names. Seriously.
What will happen if you do?
Nothing. It's just that I just feel I can't mention their names. I know this is weird, right? So this has never happened. Let this be my FBO. No, but on a serious note, I don't know. There are lots of people, that have helped me. Even people that don't even know they've helped me. Even the people that have done bad things to me have helped me.
So you want to shout out to those who have done bad things to you?
Look at me now.
Take a
You
look
thought
at
I
me.
was going down.
Hey, hey.
Just joking.
Or not.
Jokingly serious.
Jokingly serious. Okay. So the last one will be few point nuggets to young Africans. Doing business in Africa is interesting. Quite lopsided, right? Some make money legitimately, some don't make money legitimately, and they flaunt it. And you're like, okay, so I can work really hard and not make it. That's what some people think. And some people think, I can just follow this route that seems like a shortcut and I'll be celebrated. But for those who still want to make it legitimately, so just points for them to take, some of your values that you want to share with them to help them improve their business, improve their lives. So this is your parting shot to young Africans over there.
All right. What I'd say to young Africans is this: believe in yourself. Integrity pays at the end of the day. Because I don't have those answers. There are people who have done these interviews. They're like parting shots. I'm going to give it to them.
Hey.
But I just So this
No,
is new for me.
just things that helped you in your life, values, lessons, etc.
Yeah, values,
Short.
integrity, hard work. God. That one I've said it a lot. God. Believing in God. Praying, seeking His counsel and His wisdom. What else? I think that's I don't know. That's it really. Honestly. Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel I'm disappointed.
No, no.
When I said disappointed, like I thought, I feel like when SJ was calling FVO, he was thinking FVO go drop
You know,
nuggets.
the funny thing is, if you came here acting up and all uh giving me premeditated answers without
Yes.
thinking thoroughly, I would have been disappointed.
Okay.
So I'm very excited
Yeah.
that you thought thoroughly. You're real, like you're a human being.
Because
The fact that you're a CEO does not mean hello everyone. So
Nah.
no.
And if I do this interview in 2 weeks' time or 2 months' time, it may change because that is life.
Yeah.
When you know better, you do better.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. So the things that you thought about some years ago change because of your experience, right?
Actually.
So yeah.
Actually. So we're very excited. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being introspective. Thank you for sharing your story. We're very, very, very excited.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
And I hope that the next time we call you, we'll not have to wait for 1 year.
No, but I was really
or 10
serious.
years.
I was really busy.
Yeah, I know.
You know the thing I was doing that time.
Yeah.
So
And I heard a lot of, if I have an event, 100 million, 200 million. Is that how they do events now? If I have an event, 100 million. The 3-4 examples you gave. For example, I want to do 50, 100 million. I'm like, FBO.
50K.
USD. Oh my. Oh my. Or pounds.
Yes.
50K pounds. So it's equivalent. 50,000 pounds. 100 million, 200 million. So
I was in a room some weeks ago, and people were saying 50,000, and the MC said, "Well, I like the fact that nobody's having to say that is $50,000. Like we all just know and assume in this room what we are talking about.
Yes.
They didn't have to qualify that
whether
it's
USD
50,
or
yeah,
pounds.
50K. Yeah, we know it has to be 50K.
So when you're going to such rooms when they're saying 50 billion dollars, I hope you call me.
You know that you're my mentor.
Look at you.
Do you know how many hours we spend on people talking about all these things?
I don't mentor. So that my DMs will not be full.
You mentor. You're my mentor.
I don't want my DMs. I don't want my DMs to be full.
Mentor, because says Jay, like your goals, do you know how many? Even School of Growth recently. I was blessed, So
you know what FVO did? FVO attended School of Growth 4 days, full 4 days, and FVO was asking for my account number or something to send. School of Growth is the free entrepreneurship training program that we do.
The best. If you are not there, you have to get on the next one.
I'm
Seriously.
telling you. So an FVO. So when I said you're a person of character, I didn't mean. One of the things I try not to do is to flatter on this show, right? I could whine people outside, but here I tell the truth because I don't know where the videos will go. Yeah. When it comes to time, you keep to time. I mean, I'm learning from that. Okay, so when it comes to excellence, you're pushing the envelope. And, when I say that it was something that was thoughtful, when you just said, you learned a lot, and you're like, how can this thing be free?
Yeah.
Why is this place not packed?
Yes.
Why are you not? As in your genuine concern and the character to say, man, I don't want to have a free lunch. And you said that, man, you took away so much and you had to. And when I saw that you sent what you sent, I was just like, FVO, who gave you my account number? Who gave you my account number? Why did you?
Secrecy. I'm not gonna say.
I know the person that gave you. That one is not that. There are few people that have my account details. Very few.
I'm going to publish it. If you try me, I'll publish it.
Then I'll stop
on my IG page. I'll do a sponsored ad.
I better go EFCC. She's saying her own. I don't know. Please. Thank you very much for coming. We've come to the end of the show. This was insightful. This was real candid stuff. No holds barred. She shared a lot of stories, experiences, and I'll advise you to watch it over and over again. Take out the life lessons. You see where she showed character. You see where she showed integrity. So just pick out the lessons and apply to yourself. And that's the essence of this show. Before we go, I would like to say please subscribe, comment, share, and turn on the notification button. Help us. You're getting this free of charge. Like subscribing is free. Like you just press it. It's free. Right? Commenting, just telling us what you learned, right? It's free also. And share. Don't hoard, good stuff to yourself. Don't hoard palliatives or hoard good stuff to yourself. Share and turn on the notification button so that you'll be one of the first persons to know when we have a new episode. We hope to see you in the next episode. Till then, bye for now.